the kid
I
is.
remember this was this one time. My mom specifically told me she told me and my brother, don't let anybody in this house while I'm gone. And me and my brother being a little, oh yeah, come in, da da da, X, Y, Z. So they ended up, we was young. We was only like, I was only like 5, and my brother, he's 3 years old. He's only like 8. So they come in and they steal some money from the house. Well,
oh yeah, I mean yeah.
Tore my
oh yeah, I'm beating your ass for that. I'm your exemption. Don't get me wrong. I'll beat your ass for that.
We thought we was all cool. Oh yeah, come here, da da da. And after that, and I'm gonna tell you like that, like you don't gotta like beat your kids all that time. But after that moment, yo, can we come up?
No,
we just gonna chill in the hallway real quick. You know what I mean? Like it's not worth it.
But yeah, I just am against like people saying that there's a deadbeat dad and that there's the only like the strong independent mom, because she didn't choose. A lot of women do not go into situations saying I'm gonna be a single mom. Like they go into the situation with the hopes of like, all right, even if we're not together, like even if the baby wasn't planned, or if it was like, like a hookup type of thing, whatever, because there's many different scenarios to having a kid. Whatever the scenario is, we shouldn't judge them on that situation. It's just basically there's a child being brought into the situation. How can we co-parent effectively if we're not going to be together? Yeah. Because you can't base that off of people even just being like, oh, well, the kid was born to 2 parents who weren't married. Because there are married couples who, after they have kids, get divorced.
Yeah.
Because it's intense, like having a kid and always being there for that kid. And then, like I said, like when you have 2 different types of parenting styles, it's like hard to like try to come to a common ground with kids and things like that. And then especially like when you introduce other stressors like childcare. If your kid's on formula, if you have to take your kids to doctor's appointments, all those things like that, those are very stressful. Like, and be active in my kids' lives. Like, I was a firm believer for years in not putting people on child support. Like, I used to be like, why would I put you on child support? If you are active in my child's life, yes, you should help. We can work something out in that way, like in that thing. But again, that has to come from 2 people who are on. We can work something out in that way, like in that thing. But again, that has to come from 2 people who are on a good high vibration, who will be like, all right, we can do this. Because I mean, at some points in time, like we were not always on good terms, but I always made sure that even if we were on good terms, bad terms, whatever terms we were on, my kids were never affected by whatever terms we were on. It was more so like, if me and you not, if we beefing, guess what? You still getting the kids whenever, whatever. And that's just how it is. Like, but that comes from being, whole in yourself, because I'm the type person where I wasn't whole in myself. I was, again, a very toxic person. Like my first baby father, he's in a relationship, and I feel like, I'll co-parent even with them and their child. Like I'll incorporate them like into the situation. Like I want all of us to be amicable on all levels. Like we had a sit down dinner at one point in time. Like our relationship hasn't always been the best, but like we work on it, and I always try to talk to her with love and empathize with her, because she's a mother too, and we share a common factor, which is our fathers, and then also our kids are siblings. And I always tell my daughter that that's not your half brother, that's not none of that. That is your brother, and that's your sister. So it doesn't matter. I don't care if they're different, mom. We're one family. That's your brother and that's your sister, and that's just that.
Well, I don't have any kids, so I haven't gone through that. Yeah. I had a couple scares here and there.
My God.
Keanu Brown said, "Don't nut inside of a female if you don't want to be that female."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what it really stems down to. If you're not ready to be a parent, you should take the precautions to not be a parent.
And
like
I think that's
me, I'm on birth control. I'm not on the pill, because I told y'all in the beginning of this segment, I'm very inconsistent. I have something that is very consistent for me, an IUD for 10 years. I'm not having no uh-ohs, no oohs, no none of that.
And I think like again, coming from like an early age, I don't think like I'm gonna say like I don't think like the talk of safe sex is like always taken like super seriously.
No, because if you go and you meet somebody and you're like, hey, let's use a condom, they're gonna look at you and be like, bitch, you think I'm dirty? Like, that's how they're really gonna come, instead of being like, wow, you're proactive in your health and you care about your life.
And that's a narrative.
Or if you go to a new partner and you're like, hey, you want to go get tested together? They're gonna look at you and be like, what, you think I'm dirty? Like, again.
And that's a narrative that like we really got to change. It's just like, because that's
I mean, nobody really is, but like, I feel like we should all be safe, because AIDS is real. And even though the government planted it, but that's a different story for another day. But even though AIDS is very real, and it's it's still rapidly spreading through our community, and just not, it's like, let's not just try to scare people. Listen, 1 out of 3 people has herpes. Okay, let's just think about it. If you're sitting in a room and 3 of us and 2 of y'all don't have herpes, the person has herpes. So you have to really think about it. Like, be careful of what you're doing and who you're doing these things with, and who you're sharing your body with.
Cool again.
Yes, that should be a motto. But like, that's a toxic trait in itself too. Like, not caring about your health. Like, you should care about your health. You should care about your body and things like that. And even if you do that, think about when you have sex with somebody. Think about it like that. You're having sex with them and all the people that person had sex with, and all the people that they had sex with, and it's like this big. I'm gonna
tell you around this in this area. Then.
Oh no, that's fine. This is
in this area. Well, I'm guilty on several counts, but I don't have any kids.
That's what I'm saying. Especially if you don't want to. I always feel like to them when they're cheating as a baby, and I just feel like, no, that's not the worst thing. Like, the worst thing they can bring back is if they burn you or they give you a gift that's going to keep giving like that.
People who use the point where you really gotta say like, all right, is this where I want to stay to get you on your feet? But it's just like, I hear cases where like born, live, and die. In the projects, like,
still be anything that, and you're like, even if they shitted on who live in the projects and they end up being there, gone through to get to where we are today. And this is not old news. This is stuff still happens. They close them and reload are the worst to avoid Black people. We don't want nothing out of life. So if you're told that and that's instilled in you, that's what you believe is for yourself. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. But and it's like, those people feel like, I'm safe here. This is where I'm safe. That area in itself isn't safe. They're safe here because it's like, if they try to move to the suburbs, people in the suburbs will be like, oh, you have to do this and that, or they'll get unfairly taxed, or they'll do this and that, and they'll just try to discredit the people that live there, or make things impossible for them to grow. Whereas if they live amongst their people, it's easier for them to maneuver and things like that. Like, I even use myself as an example. I moved from Trenton to Ewing, and I moved last year, and that's their like, that's safe for them, because they can also think about all the money that they pour into the military that could be poured into using and making affordable homes for everybody all around the board in suburbs, that could be poured into affordable childcare, daycares, preschools, things like that. It's just a whole big thing in the government. So I personally, I do not judge people who live in those things, because coming from, I lived in the projects, I lived in an apartment, I never lived in a project, but I just feel like people who live in the projects, they get stigmatized because projects automatically are deemed as bad. A lot of those projects, when they were first built, were inclusive to everyone. White people lived in them. Like, even if you look up a lot of histories of them, white people, they were made for everybody who needed that extra help, or who wanted to settle to afford to live, because with the wages here, some of them are not livable. Like, it's just not livable. So that made it so American descent. Like, I can't say, oh, my was brought here and they lived in South Carolina, moved up here. No, my family came specifically to New Jersey. I don't know why. And then they
you're like, y'all could have moved anywhere.
Yeah, they could have moved to Florida, somewhere hot. They want to move to cold New Jersey, but they came here in order for us to have a better life, in order for us to get business opportunities, because that's one thing here in America that a lot of immigrants do come here for, is business opportunities. Whereas they look at Black people like, oh, y'all here and y'all don't do nothing, but they don't realize that there were a lot of laws and a lot of special codes in place that bar Black people from being able to advance. And when you do start to advance, they come and they shut it down. They discredit it. You ever notice like the stigma of Black-owned businesses? how people always quickly assume like, oh, it's black-owned business, it's gonna cost too much. You never went inside that business and seen. I was going to a black-owned nail salon, and her prices were cheaper than all the other places. She didn't charge extra for anything. She took her time, all that stuff like that. But that stigma of, oh, because she's black, she's got to charge more, and she never did. And we have to cut that stigma out. We have to cut a lot of these stigmas. Go out, learn these businesses on our own, see them. Because I wouldn't want somebody, if I open up a store and be like, she black, her prices must be sky high. Like, no, it's not even the case. Just support my business. If you're gonna go out there and buy a $500 fake Louis belt, you should at least support my business. Like, that's all I'm saying. I don't have a business, but I'm just saying in general, like, support your friend's business. Like, if anybody told me they have a business, I don't care what it is, I'm supporting it. Like, and even in high school, one of my homegirls will tell you, like, she was selling her mixtapes for $5. I bought that mixtape for $5 and I still got it to this day. Shout out Skits Loco. I got that mixtape to this day. Like, I support anybody who has an up and coming dream, because all those big businesses were once up and coming. You know who helped them? The people who believe. And I think we should just cut the stigma out of black and white, oh, this, that, and the third, and just be like, if that's a good business idea and it's growing, I'm supporting it. Like, that's just be like that. Like, cut color out of it, cut all the stigmas out of it. I mean, that was me. That was my real talk. That was my Shelly moment right there.
And and like like you said, this is going to be like something that's like might have to be saved for another debate. But it's just like we kind of see this and we say this, like, people want to see you do good, but never better than them.
Oh, and that's definitely that's people in general. That's like,
and it's like, and it's just like I don't know. It's just weird because, like, people, like, they say that you want to see you do good, but when you're doing too good, they just like, hold on.
Yeah, you have a lot of people who want to see you doing as good, but not better than them, because they feel like a lot of things that you have or do, they should have or have exceeded you in.
And I remember Lil Boosie said this on which got killed in their own cities or own states.
Yeah, they never get killed out of state or anything. It'd be your own people, it'd be your own friends. I had spoke about that on my late frenemies and things like that. It really be your own people that really be on you, that don't be wanting you to succeed and don't be wanting you to do great and be great, because they see your potential, but they want to ruin you. So if you ever notice, like, if you ever have a friend who's like sabotaging your dreams or downplaying your dreams and stuff like that, reevaluate your friendship, because those are the same people that will try to take you out. Whether it may not be killing you, but they'll try to like block things so that you don't advance.
So thank all of y'all who are watching Yatta Debates, because we really do appreciate, everything that y'all like been doing for this channel and keeping it up and running, our consistent viewers and everything. So, but.
All right. And then, if we missed anything or if you want to add on to the conversation, always feel free to comment whatever you want, or, even just keep the conversation going. Download the Anchor app and listen to our debates that we previously done. Even if we've talked about it before or haven't talked about it, just bring it up and talk to us about it. Talk about it. I do my little questions on Instagram every other day. So, if you got something to add, just, let me know. And I'll definitely address it. I answer everybody. I'm not biased. I talk to everybody.
And like you said, if anytime you guys want to watch the debate, you can come here on YouTube, search up Hello Yatta or Yatta Debates Live. Come in and, feel free to comment, watch any of the old debates, subscribe to the channel. We do an episode weekly on Facebook as well. So we appreciate everybody who tuning in to this episode about.
I can't cover them all, and I know Yatta definitely can't cover them all with all the traits. So just let us know.
We really appreciate y'all, and we're going to end the stream right here.
And this is episode number 13. My favorite number, guys. 13.
We got 10 episodes out.
Yes.
Y'all the debates.
Should have a party at episode 20.